Welcome back everybody to the Cirque Show 24/7. This is season 4, episode 13 of AMC's The Walking Dead, entitled Alone. So let's get right into it. Alright guys, Alone. Now we're getting really close to the season finale of The Walking Dead, so things are kind of picking up a lot. For me, I think a lot of things are picking up and a lot of things are transpiring. A lot of people are not really happy with these, like, they feel like they're filler episodes because it's just too much talking and not enough zombie killing. But I think these last few episodes have done a lot for the show. I think it's given us a lot of character developments and still keeping the essence of what makes the show really good, and that's like the whole zombie killing. So this week's episode was still the same. We got a lot of character development, a lot of new meaning behind certain characters, and a lot of new insights behind a lot of new characters, but we still got a lot of great kills, a lot of great action scenes, and I really enjoyed it. This episode started with a great opening scene, and that's one thing I like about Walking Dead and watching it. I have to watch it like the first, like, I gotta make sure I'm watching it as soon as it starts, because usually like the first, like the intro to The Walking Dead is usually so good and stuff, and it just gives you that tone of what the episode's gonna be like. And this was no exception. This was a very great intro. Got you to really see who Bob really is, and because he was such a mystery character when he was first introduced. Because I know for me, when this season started, we got introduced to his character and stuff, and they were like, oh, here's a new random black guy, and then they said his name. I was like, I do not trust that guy. I don't trust a black man that's named Bob. I never have, never will. That was just my opinion. But this episode, it really got to show you like who he was and how he got to the group. And I like the fact that they showed like how he got to the group and who picked him up and stuff. And that was really, really cool just to see that, this guy, he's been in so many groups, and he's just been like basically the lone survivor in these groups, and he's just been alone basically all this time, and just been walking around, just kind of just living and not really doing anything, just trying to survive, and just been very alone and just very like afraid and stuff. So in this episode, he's trying to teach Sasha that you don't want to be alone. You need to be in a group. It's better to be in a group, because being alone drives you crazy. It's not good for your health and stuff. So I like that, that he had to kind of teach Sasha that, because she, in this episode, her and Maggie are kind of butting heads a little bit, because Maggie wants to just go and find Glenn, and she's like, Glenn's dead, honey. Like, he ain't living anymore. We need to, find shelter, she's thinking smart and stuff, but at the same time, she's willing to, like, split up if she has to and just leave. And that's kind of button heads and stuff. So I like that we had that kind of bickering between these groups, and just them trying to figure everything out, and it works out in the end, which is really good. So I just like that they had that moment to where they really had to see that they all need each other to survive. You can't just walk out. Maggie just can't leave when you feel like just find your husband. They all need each other, and they all need to believe, and they all need to just stick together. So that was really cool. Now going in with Daryl and Beth, and just kind of like the conclusion to their little love romance that's got a lot of people on the internet just pissed off. We got a lot of angry females because they want to be with Daryl and stuff like that, and they feel like Beth is all up on their man and stuff. You know how girls get with Daryl. But you see that, and how they find like this kind of new place, and Daryl's really getting comfy with Beth, and he really feels like he can just kind of he feels more at peace and stuff with her around, and he just feels like maybe we should just stay at this place, and maybe we should just kind of just hang, me and you, and just kind of survive together. So they're getting a little almost kind of too touchy-feely. So I'm glad like the writers teased it, but they broke it up, because they knew that can't happen, because they'll get a lot of angry fan mail from a lot of females. So, but I liked it though. I thought it was really cool. And we got to figure out what happened to Beth, because she gets snatched stuff, and you just see that struggle of Daryl just fighting and trying to survive. Like I said, just great action moments when he's like fighting, and it's just a whole like herd of like walkers just grabbing and tackling him, and he survives because he's the man, you know what I mean? So that was really cool. And a side note was the first like real action scene, that was like the fog scene. That was very scary and very eerie and just very and I had my lights off when I was watching, so I was just freaking out. I was doing this too, and that was a very uncomfortable scene, but it was just shot very well, and it was very cool with the whole fog and the zombies like running after and stuff. And I thought Bob was a goner right there. Bob, he's a lucky one. I thought he was a goner right there, but he is a survivor too, so that was really cool too. But yeah, you know, you don't get a lot. We don't get none of like the Michonnes and stuff like that. We'll get some of that. I'm assuming like next week. But this episode was really good, and you know, you get to see Daryl and basically a new group. Like we saw the same group of guys who were in that house that Rick was in when he was under the bed. Those were some bad guys. You can just tell. And it looks like, from what I took from it, it looks like Daryl might be going over to the dark side, because he probably thinks like, oh, Beth is gone. I basically lost hope. I'm alone, so I'm just going to start hanging out with these bad dudes. So that's what it seems like it's going to be, and he's going to start causing a lot of mayhem and stuff. But maybe it's just a trick, because maybe he thinks that they have Beth, and maybe he just kills them all and rescues Beth and he's like, you know, the hero. So I don't know, but from what I took from it is like, oh, they're going to shift Daryl into the dark side because he's kind of lost hope. So maybe that will happen, but that's very that's going to be very fun to watch and see what happens and see what transpires. But overall, I really enjoyed this episode. I love, like I said, the intro into Bob and how he became who he is now. It had a great meaning behind it, that, you know, you just got to stick with your team. You got to always, you know, just have that faith, and, you know, just, you know, keep pushing on, because it gets better. So, you know, we're getting closer to, you know, that sanctuary, and everybody's kind of meeting up at different positions. So yeah, I'm super excited, because it seems like we're going to start getting the group back together pretty soon, with only what I think like 3 more episodes. So don't worry, guys, with all this they're talking a lot but not a lot of killing. We already know the last 2 episodes is going to be a lot of explosions and killings, and they're going to probably kill off half the cast. So just, you know, just hold out, and, you know, just appreciate the show for what it is, because it still is a good show. So yeah, overall, what you guys think. So please like this video, comment, subscribe, tell me what you thought. If I forgot something, I'm super sorry. If I stumbled over my words, I'm super sorry. I just had to kind of speed through this because my computer's been acting up. I gotta go get it fixed because it's about to blow up. So I'm sorry, but this is the Search Show 24/7. Be easy.